The Titans are in the middle of phase 2 of their offseason program. The rookies fully integrated with the veterans now this week. They got a crash course over the weekend with rookie minicamp. First chance for a lot of those guys to live out the NFL dream of actually walking into the team facility, seeing your locker there, having the jersey with your name on the back and the helmet and all that stuff, get the chance to put it on for the first time. It was a cool moment Friday, being able to be around some of those guys and see the smiles that you don't always get when you walk into an NFL locker room, because they were just excited to be there. But they had a lot to learn over the weekend, because truly it was a crash course before they really got thrown to the fire this week. They had a couple days to work with the vets last week before minicamp, but that was really their chance to get up to speed and be ready to go this week. We caught up with head coach Mike Mularkey on Friday, talking about what he saw from his youngsters and what he wanted to get accomplished.
It like been trying to getting these guys acclimated to your systems and
well, for some of them, we got a head start with the draft picks and the signed free agents afterwards. That was the beauty of bringing them in, being able to bring them in Monday. So they had a head start for this mini camp. The hard part was the tryout guys who got here last night. Literally got off an airplane, came in here, had brief meetings, and came out here, and really you can tell they spent some time on their own studying.
How hard is it to assess maybe the draft picks and the like when they're maybe going against guys who got here last night and are scrambling to know what to do exactly?
I think I don't think it's as hard as you think. Again, I haven't watched the tape of this practice, the walkthrough this morning. You're looking to see assignment-wise, who's had extra time over the guys that just got here last night, so you're not shocked by some of the mistakes, some of the guys jumping. But here, when I watch the tape, I'll get a better idea. Again, obviously going faster, who's getting it. I mean, we can't really, if we can find out anything about guys this weekend, it's how smart they are, how well they can pick up a system, how fast they can execute it, and then their effort to finish plays. We can't see how physical they are. There's some things we obviously can't see. But we want to see who can take a lot of information and execute in a short amount of time, and a week is a short amount of time.
Byard kind of came in with that reputation as kind of a guy who was bright and picked up major. Are you seeing that from?
You can see that. We're pretty extensive in our defensive calls with Coach LeBeau, and when we did work out, Kevin, sit down with him, he easily was the best on the board and being able to retain and shoot it back at us, and it's evident out here that he's very comfortable doing that.
You guys have talked so much about getting more physical, and it seemed like the draft picks, at least early, did that. Is there any way to tell how physical, how smash mouth they can get out here?
Not really, no. I had to calm them down this morning in the walkthrough. I was very adamant about walking through in the walkthrough, and they didn't walk through initially. And maybe that was a little nervous energy, and this is their first time. But that was a nice problem this morning, to try to slow the speed down of a practice. Really nice.
What's the main thing you want them to take away from this first week?
I want them to get a grasp of what we're trying to do schematically, all three phases. Special teams has been a big part of our off season, and just to get a start, this is really the first of an install for them. They'll get the same thing again when we come back, starting OTAs, the veteran minicamp, obviously training camp. So it's just one more install that they're getting and getting to do it live.
What is the conditioning level like for these guys now? And I guess that's what these next couple of weeks.
Well, that was my message afterwards. In order to play for this team and to play the level we want to play at, they got to be in great shape. And things we're going to do on both sides of the ball, they better come in shape when they come back for training camp.
About having a fresh canvas. Do you enjoy these times where you're kind of starting with these guys, or is it just a necessary evil that has to happen?
No, Coach LeBeau and I were talking about this is real coaching here. When you are gathering a bunch of new faces, some of these guys have never been on an NFL field. This is the first time they've had numbers and hashes that look like this, that they've ever had to step on a field and execute a play and start understanding where to line up. This is fun for us. We've been working really hard, and this is good to be outside with a bunch of guys that are just dying to learn, and they've done good. This is a good day for them.
The draft picks, do you Do you move guys around at all yet? Try them at different spots, or at this point in the day still?
No, we moved. We moved Jack today, Conklin around, left tackle, right tackle, moved him around. A little bit of that. Will Pales has been playing the right side the majority of the time. Aaron Wallace, he practices at all 4 linebacker positions. For the very first day, that kind of gives you an indication of where he's at and his ability to pick up things. You try to put as much on them and see how much they can, but you also don't want to put them in a situation they have a chance to fail. You don't want to lose their confidence first time as they're out here. So,
how about Tritola?
He worked both sides. He did. Even in walkthrough, I saw him working a little bit of tackle.
What's the plan, I guess, with guys like that? I mean, you want to get them working both sides, get them comfortable. When do you need to settle in and say, this guy's playing here, this guy's going to be focusing on here? Is that something that just plays out over time?
Hopefully, the sooner the better, but we're going to move a lot of parts and see who's best and does it the way we want to do it. We'll find out, but there'll be some moving pieces up front.
You mentioned some of the youthful exuberance in the walkthrough this morning. Is it nice to see that, or how difficult is it to get your points across with some of these guys on day one?
It's hard because they know what's expected of them here, and they know what we're trying to do here as a team. And to tell them, it really only takes one guy. You can't tell the offensive line to slow down, and then all of a sudden the defensive line goes smoking by them and makes the line look bad. So, it was early on in the practice, and one of our defensive linemen, took one to the chin, and he said to Nick, "I thought this was walkthrough," and Nick said, "This is our walkthrough." It is a little bit faster than normal, but we had to slow down a few of them, and I'll probably have to address it again tonight.
Henry, I guess, looked the part. I know it's early, but what do you like?
No, I liked a lot of things he did. Just some of the holes, some of the plays we're running, the reads on the runs were good for the very first day with a whole new offensive line and a fullback in front of him. But also some of the things he did protection-wise. Some of the guys got beat up front. He had no problem stepping right up and picking up leakage. So that's good to see, very first day from him.
Is lateral agility for him something that you expect he gets increasingly comfortable with over time and with coaching?
I think he's going to get comfortable with the system. It's not far off of what he's been familiar with. There's a couple different runs that are more of our bread and butter things that I think will play to his ability.
When he was working with Sly on the bags, on some of that stuff that calls for ridiculously fast in and out and turnaround and stuff, he seemed to. Is that more of a rookie getting his footing, or more of what this back can
probably more of getting used to what we want from him drill-wise and working at things he can get better at.
You talk to guys about not getting too frustrated, because there's a lot being thrown at him right now. Do you talk to him daily? Do you find guys that you think are getting frustrated? How do you work that?
Well, I told him this morning that I respect a guy that when a play is called and he doesn't know what to do, to stop. Don't go to the line of scrimmage. Say, hey, I've drawn a blank. Please tell me. What frustrates you is when they go to the line, they don't know what to do, and the whole play gets blown up, and you've wasted a play. So we'll spend a little more time. And again, this is just like the last 2 weeks we've had in phase 2. This is about teaching, especially guys that just got here. We're not trying to see. We're trying to give them a chance to be successful and not put them in a position to fail and not really show what they're capable of doing in a short amount of time.
Any of the non-drafted guys catch your eye at all?
Let me look at it at a full practice. We got a lot of good work, a lot of different periods, a lot of different emphasis in the periods. Let me look at it, and I can probably tell you better tomorrow.
Any absences today that you were expecting?
Antoine Woods I think his girlfriend had a baby yesterday. He had to leave. And Coach Grimm, whose daughter's getting married tomorrow. So that was it.
How important is this weekend in terms of getting these guys up to speed for next week when they come back with offense?
Well, you have to think about we've already had the vets now for a number of weeks. And so they're pretty far ahead of these rookies. I think it's important that, and that's why I did what we did with having the mini camp this weekend. At least these guys will have some familiarity with the offense to come in here, feel comfortable about it. They got to work out with the vets already. They've been in the weight room. They've done their conditioning with them. The faster they can get
Bye.